Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of LT Outdoors. Today's episode, doing something totally different. Today is actually opening day of trapping season here in Michigan. Trapping is something I've loved to do my entire life, really. I've been doing it. My Uncle Frankie, God bless his soul, he taught me how to do it when I was, I don't know, about 14 years old. He bought me my first traps. Lots of great stories to tell with all that, but Today, I'm going to be teaching you about the dog-proof trap. This is actually the Duke dog-proof. They're also, there's a company that makes one called the Coon Cuff. They're also known, people call them coon cuffs, whatever. But yeah, these are a raccoon trap, basically because only raccoons can set these off. I have caught possums in these. It's always, very rare. But basically, the coon has to stick his paw all the way down in that tube and pull a lever, and for those of you that know how raccoons work, they have the only type of paws really that are good for grabbing, so basically these are made for coons. That's what they're made for. That's what I'm after. I love catching them. I do love raccoons, don't get me wrong. I love them, they're adorable, but I also love to catch them, and I'm going to show you that they are really good eating too. And yeah, it's always good to help anyways with the populations because there are a lot of raccoons. But today I'm here at my buddy's property. I showed you earlier when we were goose hunting that he definitely has a lot out here. His property's made for birds. We don't want to see those birds' nests get ruined or anything like that. So, yep, gonna start trapping out here. So I hope you guys enjoy this. I'm gonna show you everything I can on this. I'm gonna show you how to trap, how to process, skin, stretch, dry, the whole 9 yards. So hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. It's going to be a great episode. Now I just want to point this out because there's so many people out there that are against this and have a lot of hatred for traps and that, but I just want to show you, over the years they've put so much ingenuity into traps, into making them more humane, better on the animal, better, because as a trapper, we don't want to see the animal, we don't want to see it get injured. We don't want it to be sitting there in pain. We don't want to, put it through more than we have to, because honestly, we all love animals. I know it's hard for a lot of the anti-people to believe, but yeah, we love the animals just as much as anybody else, really. But I just want to show you, over the years they've added these nice little swivels. I mean, these right here help the animal so that, when it's in the trap, it's got 100%. I mean, look at this. It can move, it can twist. I've seen so many posts out there where people are trying to say, oh, they make these traps so that they break the animal's legs, and they're not trying to do that. I mean, in fact, trappers don't want that to happen. If the animal breaks his leg, not only is the animal gonna get out of the trap, but it's also gonna get out and it's gonna be injured and crippled, and we don't want that. We don't want that at all. That ain't right. But I just want to show you, that's what this is for. I mean, it's got special swivels. I mean, really, the trapping industry and the trap makers have gone out of their way to just make really great products that are, every year they come out with something a little better. And I gotta say, this is really good. But right now, all I'm doing, I'm wiring the traps. I'm gonna wire all of them to some rebar stakes. I just like to give the animal a little extra, with that wire, it gives them a little extra pull. Because if you give them too short of a leash, then they can jump up and down. They might pull your rebar out of the ground. And you don't want to lose an animal, especially with a trap on its foot. That ain't right. So yeah, I do my best to secure, and everybody should. But see, I'm gonna attach I've got 9 traps total. I'm gonna attach them all to these rebars, and then we're gonna get ready to rock. All right, now in spots like this, see, this is clay. Obviously there's coon tracks all over this, and if I wanted to, I could sit right in there and I know I could catch them. That's obviously the best bet. But when you catch an animal in the clay, it's a hell of a time trying to clean them off. They, you know, because when you catch them, they're going to dig all around. They're going to get that mud all over them, and you're going to have to wash the heck out of them. So what I'm going to try and do, see, this is the low side of the pond. So I'm thinking this is probably best bet, but I'm actually going to run a little bit of fish oil. I'm going to put some on my boot. I'm going to drag some up here, and I'm going to try and get them away from the edge of the pond where it's a little less muddy. And I'm going to set my traps out in here just to see if I can get them to come out here, because I think that's going to be the best bet. Now see, I got this Minnesota brand salmon oil. I love fish oil when it comes to coons, because obviously they love fish, and the oil, it stands above most scents. I mean, it's very strong, and it lasts too. The rain can hit this oil, and all it really does is kind of wakes it up. But see, I'm just going to kind of drag it up this way. That ground's going to smell all kinds of fishy. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to put my trap right here in this nice little clearing. I like to use my little sledgehammer. Seems to get the job done. And I like the longer rebar stakes, because I'm telling you people, when anything is trapped, it's really going to put a workout on those stakes. I've had animals pull before when I was younger. It's definitely not good. Okay, next thing I'm going to do, I'm just going to kind of tuck the wire and everything up like this. Now, one thing I've learned, my buddy John actually taught me this, because I had a hard time for a while catching animals out of these dog proofs. I'm going to open up this tuna can. I forgot a darn can opener, so I'm just going to smash at it, but you'll see what I'm going to do in a sec. Alright, made a smash bit of a mess out of it trying to get it open, but I got it. I got the oil all over my hands. Now another thing I forgot to mention, I prefer the tuna fish in oil, because again, you're going to have that fish oil in that tuna can. Now, you put that tuna fish under that trigger, that's going to make that coon dig for that. He's going to really smell that. The dog food you throw on top. He's going to have to dig that dog food out. Okay? He's not going to have a hard time with it. And I like to throw a little bit around. Just give him something, I mean, anything to keep him at the set. Now these can be hard to set. Takes a little hand strength. Okay. Now that's the cool thing about these. You can stick them right in the ground. Now, coons, they're very curious, like a cat. Alright, they're going to come up, they're going to see this. I'm going to get a little more in there. All kinds of good smells. They're going to see this, they're going to be like, ooh, what's this? They're going to smell all the foods, they're going to start digging at it. Once they hit that trigger, it's going to grab them by the wrist. Boom, you've got your coon. Now I'm going to go around, I'm going to try and find a spot for another trap. I'm going to do 2 traps per pond. We're going to get this done. Okay, got the second one set. The first one's right there. I found there was another, just seems like almost destiny. Nice little clearing right here. They're about the same. Actually, this is a little closer even to the water. But the way this wind's blowing, especially, you know, if it stays this direction overnight and the coons come out, they're going to smell this. They're going to smell this from a mile away. It's going to be great. So yeah, should have something here in the morning. All right, guys, this looked like a decent spot here. There's a creek crossing. Although it's been mowed, so I can't see the trails, there's got to be some coons. Coons are pretty well drawn to creeks. They like to walk along them each night. They not only get their drinks there, but they hunt for crawfish and minnows and whatnot. So I wouldn't doubt if there's coons that walk right along this. I had a few extra traps that I wanted to just pick some random spots to throw them at. So, yep, this seems like just as good as any. Plus it's on my route to the other ponds, so I figured it'd be good. I'm gonna put one on each side of the creek, because coons, they always run in groups, usually 2 or 3 at a time, unless it's a lone boar. Sometimes there's just one big boar coon, but most of the time there's a bunch. There's a frog, leopard frog. That's another thing they like to hunt, so that's a good sign. There's food sources here. Now don't get discouraged if by chance you don't get them the first night. I mean, you should, because you know, usually coons, they're one of the most easier animals to catch. In fact, they're probably one of the best ones to start with, other than muskrats. But yeah, coons, they're very curious, so they'll succumb to just about any set. I've caught them in all kinds of weird sets. Throw a little of my oil out just in case they're not right on it. Tuna fish down in the pipe. They sure love tuna fish. All right, back at it we go. Okay, this is another pond we got here. This is one of the older ones. Got a real nice drainage ditch on this side here, nice and overgrown with cattails. Coons love to travel that. I put a trap here because you've got a nice crossover. There's a trail, nice little animal trail going in there, and there's another one going down here, coming out of here. This one here, I'm almost positive, is a coon trail. It's a pretty good one. So yeah, figure we'll try that. It's on the route, right on the drive. Well, there's not as many coon tracks over here, but there are some. This is one of the smaller ponds, and as you can see, we've got a nice low spot here, and there's some trails coming down to it. So again, I don't want to be right on the mud, so I'm gonna get up here, probably right on this ridge, and I'm gonna walk up some of that salmon oil. Yep, because another good thing about those dog proofs is, with them being a tube, that catches the coon's eyes anyway. They're gonna come up and investigate it. And then of course they smell the fish, and then they're on it. So yeah, I'll probably put it like right here, right where they can see it if they're walking along, because there's all kinds of trails, so it should be good. All right, I got that one set. I was actually gonna film myself setting it, but Uncle Dale called in the middle of that one. So, but what I'm gonna do, because like I said, they travel in groups, I'm gonna set my second one. Actually, looks like there might be some good trails right here, so I'm gonna set one right here. Now, like I said, you can see I'm using these rebar stakes for coons. I do not recommend them for coyotes or fox, unless you're gonna, you know, you better have them either cabled to the trap. Don't use wire if you do that. But the coyotes and the fox, they're gonna jump up and down like crazy when they get caught, and they'll pull that rebar like it's nothing. So I'll show you what I like to do. I'll probably set some of them in a couple days for coyotes and fox, but for them I like to use what's called a disposable stake, which they're a pretty handy stake. I ain't got none with me today, but I'll definitely show you what they look like and how to use them. Yeah, this should be good. Okay, again, this is the last pond. I think I just spooked a muskrat. I see some wake there. Muskrat season ain't open yet, but I'll be after them too, November 1st. But anyways, if you can see right there, that's a very fresh coon track. I actually wasn't expecting any too fresh because we did have a lot of rain last night, so that's a really good sign. And this is actually perfect because this is a nice little kind of draw coming down to the pond. I'm just gonna set my last 2 traps right here, and I got a good feeling about this spot. Probably my best feeling yet. Definitely should have a couple here tomorrow. All right, I'm gonna set one over here. See, I prefer this ground that's kind of tough rather than the stuff I can just stick the dang stake in, because that gives me a little more hope that something can't pull it. If you are in some spongy ground, you really want to make sure it's down there deep, and you want to make sure you've got enough wire so that that animal cannot jump up and pull it, which raccoons can't jump very high, so I feel safe with, you know, that extra couple feet I got there. All right, now I get my tuna. Like I said, it's nice to have, see, the dog food they can pull out pretty easy, which that's what you want. You want to give them something that they think that they're getting a free meal, which that dog food they'll get out real easy. But then if they get down to that tuna, they're gonna have to work a little harder for that. And when they have to work harder, that's when they slip up and they're gonna trip that trigger. That's when that coon is gonna be yours. But I've had some pretty good days with these before. I had a group set one time where I set 5 dog proofs together in an area at a job, and I actually caught 5 coons the next day. It was probably my best catch. Get stuff out of the way so he's digging that pipe easy. I don't want to take any tuna back with me. This stuff's cheap enough. Sling it around, get that fishy smell all over the place. See, another plus side though to having 2 traps instead of 1, even if there's only 1 coon traveling, if you catch one, that coon starts making some noise, you might draw out another coon. That other coon might see this other trap and boom, and you get the second one. But yeah, this is real good setup here. There's all kinds of good trails, so yep, got a good feeling. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. That was just me teaching you how to set the traps, teaching you a little bit about the dog proofs. Yeah, now it's up to checking traps in the morning. This is the most exciting part, really. It's gonna be hard to sleep tonight because I'll tell you, tomorrow's like Christmas. Usually you never know what you're gonna get, but I kind of already do. I mean, I know I'm gonna get some coons, or at least think I'm gonna get some, but yeah, sure hope so. So hopefully, yeah, should be an exciting time, guys. I got lots of stuff coming this week, so stay tuned. Hello, everybody. Well, first day check was a bust. Not a single coon in the traps, but I'll tell you what, like I said yesterday, don't let it bring you down because they don't always move. You know, I know they were moving last night because I seen one out crossing the road, a big one too, but that doesn't mean they're going to move in the same area. So, you know, these coons here might have they you know, every now and then they could have been traveling different sections. They've got a river here they could have traveled instead of the pond. So like I said, you know, just keep patient, because that's what trapping's about. It's kind of a patience game. I've learned that, you know, patience is key, and if you stick with it, sometimes, you know, you'll have these slow days, but then sometimes you'll make up with it. You'll have more fur than you can handle the next day. So yeah, we'll just see what happens tomorrow, guys. Stay tuned. Let's see what we get. Well, on the plus side, guys, I didn't get totally skunked today, because I also had a critter job going at the same time. And as you can see with my cool new shirt, LT's Critter Control with the possum. I just have to get a Mr. Possum right there. Cute little fella. As you can see, a lot of people get mad or get scared because they show their teeth. But as you can see, he's not going to attack you. They actually call him grinners. That's their nickname. See, I can touch his tail. Look at that. They're yeah, they just mostly like to show their teeth. That's about all they got. Their reflexes are very slow. They're just a cool animal. I really like possums. I think they're cute. I love their little dark beady eyes. But yeah, that's the American marsupial right there. Just a cool critter. But this is gonna get released unharmed.